Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Warsword Conquest, Goblin Edition. Now, when we left off, we had just eliminated the last of the Kingdom of Araby at El-Shamab Fortress, as far as I remember at least. It is quite some time ago. And we are now going to turn our beady eyes to the Tomb Kings, because the Tomb Kings have, well, let's just say, rather split our territory in half, and that is really not something very nice, is it? So as we can see here, we actually have 12 trolls, we have 5 Ushabti units, and we have a variety of other things here that are no doubt going to be very, very powerful indeed. So as we can see here, I actually was running between, I believe it was Martek, yes, Martek and Zandri, and I noticed that there was a band of renegade mercenaries with 125 units. So I ran very, very quickly to Martek, ran some people in there, and then ran all the way out and attempted to take them down, or at least to track them down once again. So let's see what we can do here. Now, this is going to just be a little bit of a starter fight for us, because it's been quite some time since I have last updated this, and I do apologize for that. It was, well, not by my choice, really, that I stopped it. It was just a very difficult thing to proceed with at the time, but we are now going to be continuing it, because there are a couple of things that I would like to do in the very near future, and it actually has something to do with the Warhammer universe. So you will no doubt find out what that is as time goes on, but for now, we are just going to concentrate on taking no casualties whatsoever, because they do actually have some very powerful units in the form of these Ogres. So we need to be very careful of their huge, wow, that is actually quite big, maces, or shall we say hammers. And let's try to be very, very careful there, shall we? Now, we do want to make sure that our ball and chain is doing exceptional damage. Look at it. It is absolutely massacring everyone in our path, apart from when we get a negative speed bonus, that is, but nevertheless, everything else is going very, very nicely. 129 damage against a Bear Man of Urslo, which is very, very good. And there it is. Victory. Now, what I've been doing off-screen a little bit is trying to get some more of our towns into a good prosperity, because, as you may remember, we were hemorrhaging money. We were actually losing 3,000 per week. So what I attempted to do was take out some, what was it, Tomb Raiders? Yes, I believe there are a lot of Tomb Raider parties in the area, and I was able to loot them, yeah, relatively well. Not incredibly well, but quite nicely. At least enough to gain a pretty nice amount of gold. And then I was able to buy a market at one of our towns. I do believe it was Bloodhorn, and that is still being built, I do believe. So hopefully that will turn out to be very, very good, and we will be taking Master of Arrows, thank you very much, as well as what? Oh, it appears as though they only have skeletal units. That's actually a little bit unfortunate. I was hoping that they may have more than that, maybe something like, well, more mummies perhaps? I actually absolutely love these mummies because they have exceptional amounts of strength, and I love mummies in another game that may actually be appearing on my channel. But we're going to be seeing how that goes as time goes on, as we have now seen that Joseph Bugman has leveled up, and we are going to be giving him another point in agility, because, of course, being a dwarf, he is going to be, well, shall we say, a little bit on the slow side, so we're going to be giving him a little bit more in athletics, thank you very much, and then we'll improve his one-handed weapon proficiency as well. That sounds good to me. So, we have 274 units in our army right now, and I do believe we are going to be heading on to the Tomb King's territory. And we are going to take a look and see what is actually going on here in terms of defenses, of course. We do actually have a couple of deserters over there as well, but we are not going to be too concerned with them right now. So, oh! Hello. It appears as though they have 4 Necropolis Knights, 2 Mummies, 1 Tomb Champion, and then nothing else to really write home about apart from maybe the Master of Arrows units, and they only have 6 of them. So, I do believe we are actually going to be attempting to take this. But, of course, I cannot do that right now because we are not at war with them. So, yes, let me, just before we go on, take a look at this. Now, as we can see here, the Tomb Kings actually are incredibly loyal with us, and that kind of makes me a little bit worried, because I don't really want to be fighting the High Elves, you see, because the High Elves are very, very close to us. As we see here, they are just across the ocean. I don't believe... this is a transport path here, so if they indeed decided to attack us, they could very easily launch attacks from this particular area. However, I have scouted... Wait a minute. I have scouted the Tower of Hoeth, as well as this particular town here, and, well, suffice it to say, they have exceptional units in both, and I don't really want to fight them because they are quite tricky, in my opinion. Now, the only other thing we could probably do is, for some reason I bought 3 ships, and they all got disembarked on this particular island here. Now, what we could do is try to take the Pirate King Fortress, which in my opinion, would actually be rather fun. And as we see here, the Pirate Kingdom has 0 with us, and we would not spoil the 95 relation we currently have, so maybe they would be a better idea, but yes, the Tomb Kings just have such a huge territory. I would love to be able to maintain dominion over this entire southern desert, but yes, something tells me we're probably not going to be able to do that, maybe because their vassals are exceptional, but also because the pirates may not have the greatest... Oh, wow. Okay, well, never mind. The pirates do actually have some very good units. As we can see here, they have 6 pirate ogres, they have some cannoneers, they have cannoneer masters, as well as duelists, and I'm not entirely sure about quartermasters, but... maybe we should just check over here at Lucchini, and we'll see whether we can actually find an opening in their defenses. 169... That's actually not too bad, but as we see here, they have 3 very strong vassals nearby, so maybe we should just check the Pirate King Fortress out, and we'll see where it goes from there. But we always have the backup plan of taking on the Tomb Kings, of course. So let's just move on here, and we'll see. Okay, well, there's Pirate King William. He's going to be a very big handful indeed. Really? This guy has 76 pirate ogres. 76 of them. Yes, something tells me I probably do not want to be attacking this at any point. As we see here... Really? Oh my. Okay, they have a lot of vassals. Okay, so let's just instead scout out Zandri. We can actually take a... Oh, I was hoping we could take a shortcut, but it appears as though you need to get a boat from there. That's a little unfortunate, isn't it? But nevertheless, we're going to be heading on over here. I am just hopeful that none of the enemy vassals... I'm going to be rejecting these offers. I know I lose honor for this, but I do not want the Kingdom of Araby vassals running around and raiding our villages at every possible turn. Now, do bear in mind, some of these tomb lords... This is actually a tomb herald... And he has 12 Necropolis Knights. How many do we have? We actually have quite a few, as far as I am aware. We have... Wait a minute. Necropolis Knights? We have 12. Oh, okay, we actually have 12 as well. So that's going to be relatively good, isn't it? That's going to be quite good. So... let's just continue leveling up a couple of our units here, and then we will see 364 units in Zandri. Now, they only have 25 Necropolis Knights. I know you say, yes, only Reformers? No. Well, that's the thing. Necropolis Knights are really only very good when they are on the back of their cobras, whereas when they're on foot, not so much. So I don't think we really need to worry too much about the Tomb Kings. Yes. Other than that, who do we have? We have the Orcs. We could take on the Orcs, but as we know, Orcs are very, very resilient, and Dwarves exactly the same. So, I'm thinking we're going to attack the Tomb Kings. I think we are. I don't really want to be taking this guy on, though. I definitely don't want to be taking this guy on. But we are probably... maybe we do. He has no units, though, to take prisoner, you see. That is unfortunate. Oh, who's that? Emir Ganawa. Okay, we're gonna need to take this guy out first, because if he is... Actually, wait a minute. He's probably gonna be heading on over to our fortresses and various villages in our territory. How fast is he? 5 point... Nope. Okay, we're never gonna catch him, unfortunately enough, but we are gonna be taking on this guy, or this guy? Okay, this guy. We're gonna be taking on this fellow first, and we're gonna see how well we do. I'm a little bit worried about this, I have to admit, considering the Tomb Kings have been excellent... Oh, that reminds me, they have been excellent allies of ours, and I'm thinking that Orcs are probably going to be the way to go instead, because now I'm thinking we have so many Tomb King units in our army, what we're going to have problems with is morale, and we're already having some significant difficulties with that, below average right now, so we are going to be heading on to the Orcs territory instead. Hopefully getting in combat with a vassal relatively fast, because otherwise we are going to have some significant difficulties losing a lot of our units. Now, as we can see here, I have tried very much to gain some excellent prosperity out of Bloodhorn, because I do believe a market is also being built there. I'm not entirely sure whether it is complete yet, but it is going to be very, very soon, I do believe. So that's going to be very, very nice. And otherwise, that's exactly what I mean. Otherwise, we do have the difficulties. And by that, I mean many vassals that should, in theory, be disbanding from their factions are still sticking around in their particular territories. And wait a minute. Okay, let's do some battles. Let's do it. Let's take this guy on. How many units does... Oh, 328. Okay, well, we're going to try. This guy... Wow, okay. We are going to try. Oh, let's see. How do you feel about... Oh, never mind. Okay, we're not going to be trying to persuade him. No, not this time around. That is none of your business. Prepare to fight. Yes. Okay, so we have declared war against the Orcs. And hopefully many of our vassals will be coming to assist us, because we actually have around 4 or 5, maybe even 6 vassals. I know we have at least 2, maybe even 3 Goblin vassals, and then the remainder of them are, of course, Lord Toxicotl, our Lizardman defector, and we also have a Dark Elf under our command, so I am actually quite pleased about that. But what I am greatly hoping that we will be able to do is get to the top of this hill before we are beset upon by the ravaging green hordes. And actually, I say that, but most of our units are actually green because we are goblins, so yes, maybe I should take that back a little bit. But nevertheless, look at this guy. Oh my goodness, he has a very, very large mount, and he's actually off it already. That's actually very good. Okay, so come on, let's take him out. There we go. We have taken him out. That is a ball and chain for you. Let's try to deal some damage to this guy as well. Oh my goodness, he absolutely got cut down by our forest walkers right there. And this is where we are going to maybe regret taking on the Orcs. Let's just see how well we do. I am a little bit worried about their bowmen, of course, because we have no shield. Yes. Ratlob Big Biter has no shield, so I'm going to attempt to focus down as many of their archers as I can. Because otherwise I'm going to get shot in the head, and we're going to have problems. Many, many problems. There we are. Take out that fellow as well. Thank you very much. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to take out a couple more. Yes? Ah, it appears as though it is working. And we are not losing too many units at all. If we can actually take out this guy with losing minimal casualties, then I think we are absolutely going to be able to wage war against them successfully. Because as we know, the large fellow, the Lord, or shall we say the King of the Orcs, has 328 units in his army. We just saw him before we headed into this fight here. So that is going to be a great problem if we are not able to eliminate this fellow with, well, a great deal of ease, shall we say. So let us just try to eliminate as many as we can. And oh no, they actually have some pretty reasonable mounts here as well. Oh no! Yes, I think I blocked that fellow's axe. Or cleaver, should we say. Thankfully, the orcs are absolutely terrible archers, or it appears as though they are quite terrible, so I am having a better time of things than I otherwise would be if we were against high elves, for example. Oh my. High elves. I must not even mention them. They are just going to be a nightmare to take on, no doubt. But right now, we don't need to deal with them. We do not need to concern ourselves with those very snooty fellows. And instead, we just have to take on the orcs. Yes, there we have it. Very nice indeed. We have been victorious with a very minimal amount of casualties, so I am quite happy about that, I have to admit. So let's take the field to eliminate the last 40 units, and we will be seeing what kind of battle map we have to deal with here. Okay, so we have a little bit of a valley situation going on, so I think the greatest tactic would probably be to get all of our archers, we have 40 of them, on this hillside here and make the orcs walk uphill. A very steep hill it is indeed as well. So let's see what we can do. Wow, we actually have a lot of dwarven archers as well as undead archers too, as we can see here. Masters of arrows. Yes, there we go. So, let's see what we can do. We need to watch out for their wargs. Or shall we say, their boars? They have some boars, it appears. Okay. Okay, let's be a little careful here. Come on, trolls, what are you doing? They're just standing there. We need them to do something, at least. Okay, we need to be a little careful. Now, this is why I love the ball and chain weapon. It is absolutely amazing reach. Look at it. And we can now then continue onward to take out the rest of them. And that will be the end of the fight by the looks of things. We are taking out as many of them as we can. Hopefully we'll be able to take a couple of them prisoner. I would like to be able to do that because, of course, taking prisoners is a very lucrative way to get a good amount of cash in a very small amount of time. But unfortunately, we of course do not have that much in the way of prisoner management. So, yes, that is going to be a little difficult. But thankfully enough, we have been able to eliminate Warboss Grimbog. And we will now be letting him go. Yes, I know. Very strange action indeed, but we're going to be attempting to do that anyway. And we're going to try and take as many prisoners as we can get, because of course we do have a rather sufficient supply of prisoners in Bloodhorn's garrison, but of course we have not had the opportunity to find a ransom broker just yet, but no doubt we are going to be doing that at some point. So, let's just see here. We do have a couple of people to level up, so I'm going to be doing that once we exit. Wow, we actually have some very nice pieces of gear here. There's a thick Corsair vest from one of the Kingdom of Araby vassals that I attacked earlier. And let's see here. Wow, that's actually very nice armor, I have to admit. Maybe we could sell it for a pretty penny. That would actually be very nice. Now, I did not use my bow in that particular encounter, and I probably should have. Now, there is actually a warbow here, which I'm actually thinking I will take. Should we? Should we take it? I think that might actually be a good idea. Fine bread? Okay, wait. Do we have some cheap bread? There we go. Okay, I'll take the fine bread back. Thank you very much. Now, a warbow. We can actually use this on our mount. And it does give 3 more damage for a sacrifice of 7 speed. Is it worth it? We'll find out. There we go. Thank you very much. And there it is. Goblins of the Misty Mountains have declared war against the Orcs. And we can now immediately besiege Draz Castle, which I do believe we will be saving for the next episode. So I thank you very much for watching our return to Warsword Conquest, and I will see you next time.